Give it up to the Blairing Out Show. Congratulations, 20 years of excellence. Way to go, Blair. You did it. You're on the cover of OC Weekly. Hell fucking yeah.
This is the Blairing Out with Eric Blair show. Recently, OC Weekly did a cover story celebrating the 20-year anniversary of the Blairing Out with Eric Blair show on cable television. I want to personally thank all of the dedicated viewers for the last 20 years. Please continue to spread the word and subscribe to the show on YouTube. You can read the OC Weekly article written by Nate Jackson at the link below.
Out show.
This is a Blairing Out with Eric Blair show, and we're here at the 2016 Warped Tour with Ann Courtney of Mother Feather. Makeup.
The makeup is inspired by the music. At the end of the day, it's all, the costuming, the makeup, it's all about fitting the songs, which are larger than life and fun and beautiful and garish and ugly as well as gorgeous. So yeah, they're turned up really far.
At what point did you think makeup had to be a part of the theatrical experience for you?
From the very beginning.
What does it symbolize to you?
A lot of it has to do with the ceremony of the application. It's like a Tibetan mandala, sort of the ritual of the application, and then the destruction of the makeup as well. It's sort of the Tibetan mandala meets monster truck rally.
Do you think that Mother Feather is your religion?
In a way, you could say that. Sure. Probably more dogmatic. Come to think of it, sure. Religion is one way to look at it.
What are you dogmatic for?
Well, hearts inspire dogma. I think blood, fever, pain, suffering. It gets me excited.
So now tell me about the suffering. Why does that get you excited?
Why does it get me excited? Because it's all part of the package, right? It's all part of I think the best music can take a bite out of all of it.
Because you've suffered?
Yes. Humans suffer. We suffer. Yeah, for sure.
Do you think all humans suffer?
Yes, of course. All living beings suffer.
How have you seen that play itself out in your life?
Come to the show. We'll make you suffer. It'll be great.
Listen. How have you seen suffering play itself out in your life? Are you transparent?
I am. I'm completely transparent. I just don't want to. I don't want to spoil the fun for you of the live show.
Keep in mind that there may be people watching this interview that may have gone through what you've gone through in your life. Sure. You've overcome it, so it might be a testament to their lives.
I would say that I have not overcome suffering. I think our job as humans and musicians, as people who are connecting to each other, is to share about suffering, also about joy, about. That's why we're here, to connect with each other, right? To work it out. Let's work it out, Blair.
I feel suffering creates a deeper humanity. I feel like if you suffer, then you're gonna be empathetic to other people's suffering. And you believe that?
I dig that. Yeah. That's where empathy comes from.
Or share all these different experiences and emotions with your audience. How does it look from your point of view?
It looks fucking awesome, man. It looks so awesome. That's why I'm here. Like this, what's happening, the opportunity every day to share with new people, with fans, to have a communal experience of pop cock rock looks extraordinary.
Now, define pop cock rock.
Sure.
Define that. It's reminiscent of Peaches.
Sure.
To me.
Yeah.
So, and I think you're probably influenced by her a little bit.
For sure.
So,
absolutely.
Explain it to me.
Sure. Well, pop cock rock, at the end of the day, is an elevator pitch, because people that are not musicians are especially interested in genres, I think, and sort of being able to understand and compartmentalize. I understand the impulse to do so. But pop cock rock started because we needed that. Because when you have your, 2 floors in an elevator where I've met you, Blair, and we're going to the 5th floor, and you say, oh, you're a musician, what kind of music do you play? And I say pop cock rock right before I get off on the 5th floor, you have more questions, and that's a good thing. I mean, we're women singing pop cock rock. Cock rock is a male genre, classically. But yeah, we're women, emphatically.
What kind of ground do you really think you're breaking?
Oh, I'm not really breaking ground. I do think women are separate. Women are different. That's part of what makes us special. And I don't know if I'm breaking new ground. I'm just breaking the ground in my heart, I'm just doing the music that is true to me.
So this is therapeutic for you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And you understand that this is a luxury that not everybody has?
Oh, I deeply understand that. I deeply, deeply understand that. And I fought very hard to have this luxury. I fight very hard to be able to have this therapy, as you say. I work very hard.
What kind of adversities have you had to overcome to get where you are today?
Yeah, well, I may have mentioned that this is actually our first tour, although Mother Feather has been around for going on seven years. So it's been very challenging to get 5 people out on the road. That's why it's taken so long. Yeah, it's really expensive to be a musician, and sometimes it feels very untenable. It feels like Sisyphus trying to get everyone together for what is really a labor of love. Career is such a weird term because it's been a struggle to keep Mother Feather going in a very practical sense. But I have to. It's my destiny. I need it.
What would your other options be?
I don't fucking know, man. I would. I don't know. You might find me face up in a ditch somewhere, or down, face down.
I was going to say, what advice would you give to somebody that's considering suicide?
Wanting to end yourself. Just wait a little bit longer, because sometimes the sky changes.
So, what do you think about assisted suicide?
Well, I think that's a human right and choice. Suicide is a right and a choice. I would still say wait. I don't know. It's a very, very complex issue.
Life is a very complex issue.
Indeed, it is. That's why we're here, right?
What would be your ultimate goal with Mother Feather?
Japan.
So, Japan playing a club to 10 people, or Japan playing the Budokan?
My fantasy of Japan is going to a karaoke bar and having a Mother Feather song, or the Mother Feather catalog as the selections to sing.
That's a great dream.
Yeah, I think it'd be really fun. That's when I'll know I've hit the big time.
What was the band or the musician that you listened to that made you feel compelled to do music?
Madonna.
Really? What album?
Madonna.
The first Madonna.
Yeah, that one really fucked me up. I was a little kid, and I remember I asked my mom. I was 6, I think, and I said, "Mom, what's a virgin?" And she said, "Well, someone who's never been touched before." And I just could not wrap my brain around how that was even possible. But she was right.
So
That's what a virgin is.
So you're talking about Like a Virgin?
Yes.
Okay, so that was Madonna's second album.
Like a Virgin was on Madonna. Oh, you're right. No,
Yeah.
you're right. That's the title of the album.
Yeah.
You're right. Like a Virgin.
To me was her best album.
You're right. Madonna. You're right. I got Madonna. It was a break it or buy it situation. I was living in Singapore at the time, and I had Like a Virgin on cassette. And then I was in a CD store, and I remember fondling Madonna. Dropped it and had to buy it. It was great.
The first Madonna.
The first Madonna, yeah, with Burnin' Up and Lucky Star and Borderline, yeah. I was very lucky to get to see her at Madison Square Garden last fall, and I just screamed and cried through the whole show.
Really?
Yeah, it was very powerful, actually.
Where were you sitting?
I had a great spot, actually. And luckily, I was sort of away from the rest of my party, and I was relieved about it because I was, like, really making a mess of myself.
But as far as the Like a Virgin record goes, since we're on this topic right now, what would be one of the standout songs besides Like a Virgin that you liked on that album?
It's funny, I'm thinking of Angel.
Oh.
That's sort of like a really deep cut. Let's see, what else is on that record?
Dress You Up.
Oh, Dress You Up's on that one.
And
Yeah, over and over.
It's great.
Get up. See? There we go.
Now, tell me about Metal Blade and how they approached you to sign.
Chris Santos, the chef and restaurateur, an incredible dude and huge music fan. And he found out about us, tweeted about us, attracting the attention of the lovely Brian Slagle. And the next thing we knew, Brian Slagle was calling us up on the telephone.
How much tour support do you get from Metal Blade?
Well, they're incredibly helpful to provide us with a vehicle. So we are, and I mean, they got us here. So thanks, guys.
How important is fame to you, and could you live without it?
I could definitely live without it. Fame seems sort of like a nuisance more than anything. Obviously, I want people to know about Mother Feather and the music, but fame is not of interest.
Describe fame. How do you see it?
Fame?
What does it look like to you?
It's probably, to me, the nuisance part of it seems like the invasion of your privacy and your anonymity, which I value a lot, actually, when I want to be.
Have you prepared yourself for this? People might be a little invasive on your life due to you putting yourself out there.
I do value my anonymity, but also I'm an open heart. You know, I want to share and I want to commune with our fans. So I don't know. I guess we'll cross that bridge.
So what is the most judgmental person you've had to deal with after a show?
People are always less judgmental to my face. You know, people love to spew judgment online when they're anonymous. So I don't know. We haven't really dealt with too much judgment face to face. It's more the sort of weenies behind their computer screens.
King Kong on the keyboard, as Fred Durst would say.
Sure.
So tell me about your upbringing. What was your youth like, and were your parents supportive of you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my parents are incredible. I grew up overseas in South Asia. I moved around every few years. My parents worked for the State Department, and I grew up in South Asia mostly, and then moved to New York as a teenager and been there ever since.
I think ultimately you're rebelling against authority in what you do. Would you agree with that?
Sure. I would say that's true. I would say that there's definitely a seed of truth to that.
Did you have any authority pushed on you by your parents?
Yes, my parents actually were very strict.
Strict in what way?
Well, my parents are great, as I said. They love me a lot, and they were very protective. So, you know, I spent a lot of time grounded as a kid. I was in trouble a lot.
Do you, tell me about, were your parents religious?
No, not particularly. No.
So they didn't believe in a deity. They didn't believe in God.
Well, that's one you'd have to ask them. But they're not really they're not church-going folk. No.
Okay. And then what do you think of church?
What do I think of church? I think church is actually awesome. I went to a Catholic college with Lizzie. We went to a Jesuit school, Fordham at Lincoln Center. And that's where I went to church a few times, and I thought it was fascinating.
What did you learn about yourself during your time there?
I learned that God is in people.
Can you define that?
I just did.
God is in people, but what God? I mean, the Bible says that Satan is the Lord of this world, so...
Satan is in people. Also.
Yeah. Do you believe Satan is in all people?
Yeah, a little bit, if we're lucky. Yeah.
You think that's luck? Or that's choice?
Oh, man.
We do have free will.
I think if you want you want a taste of Mother Feather's theology, then we'll see you at 420 at our show. Definitely.
That's the bottom line for you. You're almost like...
What's the bottom line for me?
Well, the bottom line for you is that your whole existence is on that stage, and that explains you. That defines you.
Yes.
It's like a book that's being opened up, and the whole world can see who you really are on that stage.
I think that's absolutely fair, yeah.
Okay. Like, and I hate to use this old school reference, but Eddie Van Halen, they used to say he talked with his guitar, not with his mouth.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love that.
Do you feel insulated from the rest of the world here on Warped Tour?
Yes, I do.
So do they keep you away from the political chaos that is going on outside of the Warped?
No, I just feel like we're very much in the warped world right now, which is a beautiful, extraordinary world. But yeah, sort of catching up on the news every now and then. It's like, oh, we've been living in a warped world, which is, like I said, it's a fucking rad world.
Do you believe that there's a hell?
No.
You don't. So if you did believe there was a hell, do you believe that Hitler would be rotting there?
If I did believe that there was a hell, sure, Hitler would be rotting there if there was a hell. Yes.
Because that would be the only place that would contain him, correct?
Sure, yeah.
So then there must be a list of other people that you could think of that would be in hell also, even though you believe it doesn't exist.
Sure.
So after Madonna, who did you love musically?
Who do I love after Madonna?
After Madonna.
Missy Elliott.
So what is the highlight of being on the Warped Tour?
Getting to play our music to new people every single day.
See, people look at your image and they think they know who you are, but they know nothing about what you're going through in your life.
They don't know shit.
That's right. So they better see you at 420.
420.
All right.
Thanks, Blair.
Blairing Out with Eric Blair with Mother Feather, signing off.
The Blairing Out Show.